Good morning. Today is March the 2nd, 2023, and we are visiting Kronk Cemetery in Madison Township, Scioto County, Ohio. We were out several weeks ago to visit this smaller, older rural cemetery, and the adjacent property owner, who is also the caretaker, invited us back out when the daffodils bloom. And last night we received a phone call that we should come out today because they are in full bloom, and we thought we'd come out this morning to catch everything. And the colors are nice and vibrant, and we really are glad that we did. So just in the several weeks that it's been, when we were just starting to begin to see the tips of the daffodils, they're everywhere now and they're fully blossomed. So we'll make our way. We're entering through the private property side of the cemetery, and to our right is more uphill, but that is the public easement for the cemetery, which is still active. But I just want you all to be able to stop and appreciate how beautiful these daffodils really are with these older markers. And even we had a little bit of rain last night. Actually, we had some pretty good storms that blew in along the river. But what a difference that makes with being able to read some of these older limestone and sandstone markers. But our property owner next door saw that whenever they moved in 40 some years ago, that the cemetery and the boundary lines were largely overgrown, and like most cemeteries with no maintenance, nature eventually will bring back to it what was its in the first place. Vines and trees will overgrow, and over the years they'll topple monuments. Just the nature of gravity is often enough to topple some of these larger monuments that we find. And trees will fall, but him and himself, his wife, they've worked on preserving the cemetery, and we see it today in the state that it is. For their care and attention that they've given it. And I did mention that it's an active cemetery, so we have newer monuments over here for the Kreider and Slusher family. Some of those actually may be cenotaphs on the larger Slusher monument. Did some research, and the family was from Kentucky and then later moved here. Here we have the military marker for Jacob Kronk. I believe this is another Kronk memorial. But as we look by, camera really doesn't do justice for just how many daffodils are blooming this morning. So, we have people that will drive hours to go see Daffodil Hill up near Lake Erie, and here in rural Ohio, southern Ohio, we have our own version of it. And the sun's just starting to burn off the morning dew. And we'll continue making a round. So we also have some additional work ahead of us this morning. We're going to go through and rephotograph the monuments if possible. photograph locations that have um, burials that are more apparent in different lighting conditions. See if anything else has turned up since our last visit. And then we're also going to retake the 360 photos that we had taken a couple weeks ago. So just a bit of comparative analysis. And we had originally thought this was a cemetery that served a community, and we're right there. But that within that cemetery that there were smaller family cemeteries. We would have the Bauer family here, and the Kronk, sorry, a little wild with the camera, the Kronk family over there, and the Martin family over on the other side of the cemetery. Well, while that's true, we did find a lot of intermarrying between those families, and then also first and second marriages. So not as many multi-generational plots as you have, multi-family plots is what you have with maybe the first spouse had died and she was buried with her family with her married name, and so on, or their children buried with their grandparents. So it was for community, but the community itself was largely intermarried. But that's not why we're here today. We're not here today for the genealogy. We're just here to appreciate how the hard work of just a couple folks can really help keep our past vibrant and beautiful. So again, we are at Kronk Cemetery in Madison Township, Scioto County, Ohio. And we're just out viewing the daffodils and had a good peaceful morning. Hope you all do too.